please keep standing for the presentation of the colors. I thought it was his time. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, in one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, under God, one and indivisible. And now for the national anthem. You may be seated, and please welcome Manor Excel Academy Counselor, Mrs. Hughes.
Thank you, sir. Parents, family members, graduates, and esteemed guests, I am honored to welcome you to the Manor Excel Academy graduation ceremony for the class of 2026. I speak on behalf of the Manor ISD staff and school community when I say we are privileged to be here today. Class of 2026, you made it, and we're here together. At this time, I would like to acknowledge our Manor ISD Board of Trustees who have been instrumental in supporting our scholars and their post-secondary success. Each trustee will stand and be recognized at this time. Board President, Mrs. Ana Cortez. Vice President, Mrs. Stephanie Rodriguez Barnett. Board Secretary, Mr. Fabian Martinez. Trustee, Mr. Patrick Patterson. Trustee, Ms. Stacy Howard. Trustee, Mrs. Lakeisha Small. I would also like to acknowledge Dr. Sarmani, our superintendent, and members of the cabinet for their tireless work on behalf of scholars. Thank you for your support of our Manor ISD community. Trustee Dr. Caitlin Lowry, please stand. At this time, we wouldn't be here today if it weren't for our awesome MEA and MAP staff that have been here with us through the journey. At this time, can we have our MEA and MAP staff rise? Por último, pero no menos importante, queremos reconocer y agradecer a todos los padres presentes en este salón que han estado aquí desde el principio, desde el primer día hasta cuando estos estudiantes eran pequeños niños de kinder. Su duro trabajo nos han traído hasta aquí. En un momento voy a preguntar a todos los padres que se ponen a la pie para que los podamos saludar. At this time, lastly but most importantly, we want to acknowledge and thank the people in this room that have been here since the beginning, day one of all, when you have been here with these students, when they were itty-bitty kindergarten. If parents will please stand at this time, your hard work and support has led us to this day. Students, young adults, it has been my pleasure and honor to work directly with all of you. Now, let's take a deep breath. Let's sit in this moment of joy and happiness as we continue to celebrate this ceremony together. At this time, I'd like to welcome Dante Williams and Melanie Garcia to do the student address.
Family, you guys have been doing great so far. If we could just make sure when our students are speaking that everyone's able to hear them, especially the graduates on the floor. We want to give them the respect that they've earned.
I had it written down right here. Let's hope I don't mess this up. So first, I want to start off by saying I want to start off by thanking God, thanking my family, our friends that have been with us through the whole journey. I honestly don't know if I'd be standing here today. There were a lot of nights I felt stressed, tired, and lost, and ready to quit, but God kept me going, giving me the strength even when I didn't see it in myself. I also want to give a oh my goodness. All right, y'all pushed me to do better, to be better, and never stop believing in me even when I doubted myself. And to my family and friends, thank y'all for never giving up on me, especially during the times when I gave up on myself. Y'all stayed by my side through every bad day, every setback, and every moment. I felt like I couldn't keep going. Now, I'm not gonna lie, my teacher once told me I put the pro in procrastination, and I still somehow graduated. And honestly, that's one of the realest things ever said about me. But I think that it also shows something important about all of us. No matter how many times we got distracted, messed up, fell behind, or felt like we weren't enough, we kept going. But with that being said, the class of 2025 finally made it. We all came in here with different stories, different struggles, and different dreams, but we're leaving stronger than we ever been. Like Zero once said, the harder the battle, the sweeter the victory, and looking around today, we all deserve this moment. Yeah. Okay. Oh.
Thank you, Dante. Up next is our second student speaker, Miss Melanie Garcia.
It's so much different actually being up here. Okay. Good evening, families, teachers, staff, friends, and of course to the graduating class of 2026. It's strange standing here today because for years graduation felt so far away. It was always someday. Someday we'd walk this stage. Someday we'd figure ourselves out. Someday life would finally make sense. And even though still not everything makes sense, someday is finally here. The truth is, every single person sitting in these seats took a different path to reach this moment. Some people thrived in high school, some people barely survived it. Some were surrounded by friends every day while others often felt alone. Some carried pressures and struggles nobody else could see. Some lost friendships or the people they thought would always be here, yet here we all are. That's the strange thing about life. We think we're living separate stories, but really, we're living different versions of the same human experience. We all know what it feels like to be scared, to wonder if we're enough, to stay up late thinking about the future, to laugh so hard that for a second the world feels weightless, to lose people, to outgrow people, and to miss versions of ourselves that no longer exist. For years, many of us acted like we had everything figured out, when in reality, most of us were just trying to make it through. Maybe that's what makes today so meaningful. This moment isn't about classes, projects, or the tests we passed to get here. It's about growth. It's about challenges nobody else saw, the mornings we didn't want to get up out of bed but did anyway, and the lessons that shaped us along the way. People will look at us today and see caps and gowns. What they don't see are the years behind them. The memories, the stress, the laughter, the heartbreaks, the hallways we swore we hated but would somehow miss anyway. One day, years from now, we won't remember every assignment or grade, but we'll remember how this chapter felt. We'll remember the people who made the ordinary days matter and the bad days good. And while today is exciting, it's also a little terrifying, because the future is no longer a distant idea, it's real. Some of us are leaving home, some of us are starting over, some of us have a plan, some of us are pretending to have one, but that's okay. Life was never meant to be a straight line, it never was. And maybe the bravest thing we can do is to keep moving forward anyway. To keep loving people deeply, even knowing not everyone stays. To keep trying, even after failure. To keep growing, even when we don't know exactly who we're becoming. Today is not the end of our story, it's the beginning of a new chapter. And before we leave this place behind, there's something I hope we remember. Always be kind to people, not because the world tells you to, not because it sounds good in speeches, but because every person you meet is carrying struggles, hopes, and dreams of their own. Everyone wants to feel understood. Everyone wants to know they mattered. Maybe that's what this whole experience was about. Not perfection, not having everything figured out, but connection. The people sitting beside you watched you become who you are. Even those you barely spoke to shaped your story in some way. We shared the same hallways, the same routines, and the same chapter of life that felt like it would last forever. And now somehow, it's coming to an end. So before we rush towards the future and whatever comes next, I hope we take a moment to look around and remember this version of ourselves. Young enough to still dream recklessly, old enough to know that life is nowhere near easy, but strong enough to keep moving forward anyway. We came here as people trying to find ourselves. We leave it as people who changed, loved, lost, learned, and grew. And wherever life takes us next, I hope we never lose the parts of ourselves that got us here in the first place. Congratulations to the class of 2026. We made it!
Thank you, Melanie. All right, my turn. I'm the last one, though, don't worry. Y'all gonna make it. We still gonna be record shortest graduation. All right, before we celebrate today, I do wanna take a moment for the people who should be here and aren't. The people we lost along the way, that life pulled in a different direction. We carry them with us today. But I can honestly say, this is one of the groups I have been most proud of in my entire career. And no, I do not say that at every graduation. Some of y'all really came out of the mud, and we saw it. We saw obstacles stacked against you that most of the adults in this room would struggle to carry. I saw setbacks. I saw people doubting you. I saw moments where life kept trying to pull you backwards, and somehow y'all just kept moving forward. That's strength. And I'm not going to make this speech about me, but I will say this. There were moments this year where I felt overwhelmed, moments where I felt what we call in the weeds. Now, if you've ever worked in a restaurant, you know exactly what in the weeds means. In the weeds means everything is happening at once. Too many things are going wrong. The hostess just sat maybe a party of 15 at your section. Too much pressure, and you can barely think straight. And what happens when people see you in the weeds? The best people step inside, and they say, I got this. They take something off your plate, they help you catch your breath, and they remind you that you don't have to carry everything by yourself. That's what I watched many of you do this year for each other. All those circles that we did, they mattered. You showed up for each other. You checked on each other. You helped each other survive hard moments. That matters more than any test score that you will ever take. People underestimate MEA students all the time. But when I look at this class, I do not see any underdogs. This PowerPoint doesn't have any underdogs up here because there's not a single person that I would not bet on that's not sitting in front of me. Because somewhere along the way, somebody counted you out. They said you wouldn't graduate. Somebody said you wouldn't make it. Maybe they said it out loud, or maybe they didn't have to. And the truth is, life always is going to have doubters. You're always going to have what y'all call haters. A boss might doubt you, a friend might doubt you. People will project their fears, their limitations, and their expectations onto you all the time. But the one thing that cannot happen is when y'all doubt yourself. I don't see any doubters out there. Because at the end of the day, you are the one who decides what happens next. You are the one who decides whether you keep going. You're the one who decides whether somebody else's opinion becomes your reality. And while we're talking about it, pay attention to the company that you keep. And yes, I'm getting in my last little speech to these kids. I'm gonna take this opportunity to lecture them. If you spend your life around people who constantly tell you you can't, you won't, or why even try, eventually that negativity starts sounding normal. Don't stay around those people. Find people who challenge you, who push you. Find people who celebrate your growth, who see your potential before you do. That back row, they saw y'all a long time ago. Another thing this class did teach me, though, you guys know how to advocate for yourselves. This graduating class probably called the front office more than any group we've ever had. I did not know y'all knew the school phone number, emailed, texted me. The amount of texts, how did you get my number? I don't know, but there it was. I didn't know who I was responding to. And honestly, that's a good thing. Y'all asked questions. You kept pushing. Y'all learned how to speak up when something mattered to you. That's a life skill. Because closed mouths do not get opportunity. And honestly, some of y'all you're already living adult lives. Students, be honest. Don't make me look silly up here. Raise your hand if you had to ask off work to come to your own graduation today. Students, did anyone have to ask off work to get here today? Go ahead and raise your hand. Oh, y'all gonna do me like that? Okay, yeah, There we go. I know it's more than just Kaden. Okay, that says a lot right there. Some of you guys are already helping out to support your families. Most of you are already working. That's why you couldn't make it to school. A lot of you guys are helping at home. Some of you guys are just balancing a whole lot. What's coming up next? And school is a big part of that. Y'all still find a way here. Now, families and supporters, I know y'all not gonna leave me hanging. Please raise your hand if you had to ask off work to come support your students today. Anyone out there in the crowd have to ask off work, rearrange their schedule for these kids right here? There we go. They're here. Y'all can raise your hands. You at work. Your parents are here because they believe in you. And so do we. Today is proof that your story is bigger than any label someone tried to put on you. It's bigger than any mistake you've ever made. It's bigger than your circumstance. You earned this moment, not because your journey was easy, not because it wasn't. And throughout all of it, you kept going. Class of 2026, there's a whole lot of people in this room betting on you, including me. Congratulations, we're incredibly proud of you. I do want to take this time just to thank the city of Manor. They have provided our graduates that are enlisting into the military with challenge coins. So any of our students that are enlisting will receive a challenge coin. So thank you to the city of Manor for that. Now it is time for what we've all been waiting for. Military graduates, if you would stand at this time, if you are going to receive a coin, if there's any graduates that are in here that are enlisting into the military. There it is. Let's go. Thank you, Sajad. At this time, please welcome Dr. Robert Sermani, Superintendent of Schools, and Mrs. Ana Cortez, Board President, to the podium. Dr. Sermani, I hereby certify that these scholars from Manor Excel Academy, class of 2026, have met the requirements for graduation set forth by the Texas Education Agency and the Board of Trustees of Manor Independent School District.
Thank you, Principal Mireles. And congratulations, students, and felicidades a todos. Students, this is where your graduation starts to get real. Are you ready? As superintendent of the Manor Independent School District, and based on the recommendation of the principal, Mrs. Anastasia Mireles, I hereby certify that these scholars of Manor Excel Academy, class of 2026, having met the requirements set by the state of Texas and the Texas Education Agency, are hereby eligible to receive their high school diploma. Congratulations.
Good evening. Buenas tardes. Class of 2026, you did it. We're almost there. So before I certify these, I'd like to say you are our pride. This is why we do what we do. And remember one thing. When things get hard, just remember that diamonds were made under pressure. So shine. So now if my Board of Trustees were stand up with me, and here we go. As president of the Manor ISD Board of Trustees, and on behalf of our other members of the Board of Trustees, I recognize that these scholars have met all requirements for a diploma and accept your recommendation for certification. Thank you and congratulations. Felicidades. Woo.
Yes.
Jason Aguilar. Sajad Arikaba. Jaden Alba. Josiah Albuquerque. Kira Samantha Alexander. Jose Almenares Torres. Giovanni Alvarado Fernandez. Roberto Arellano Martinez. John Arevalo. Brandon Arizmendi Lopez. Lyric Cherie Baynard. Delilah Beck. Darius Malik Bess. Marcasia Denise Brown. Lucreta Caldwell. Dayami Chavez. Jeremiah Collins. Anaya Camille Conway. Jasmine Antoinette Crawford. Victoria Ana Cruz. Joangel Delgado Torres. Isael Díaz Pesina. Amari Kairis Domini. Yoslin Don Juan Gonzalez. Amarian Deontay Dunn. Aiden Earls. Alex Escalante. Roman Escorcha. Abdul Musawar Farhat. William Fox. Valeria Galan Sanchez. Anthony Garcia Gallegos. Genesis Alexandra Garcia. Melanie Montserrat Garcia. Isaac Guardano. Amy González Caicedo. Natalia Govia Chavez. Legend Demon Grant. Imari Harrison. Belinda Hernández López. Adán Rogelio Hernández. Kenia Hernández. Ryan Michael Horde. Sochi Jaimes Perez. Lenny Lou Jaimes. Duran Dion Jones. Caitlin Leatherwood. Mauro López Alvarado. Emmanuel López Delgado. Marely López Sosa. Luis Jiménez Torres. Carlos Mecedo Coaglas. Christopher Martínez Rodríguez. Brian Omar Matriegos. David Medrano. No middle name? Got it. Caden Medrano. Mendoza. Diego Mondragón Hernández. Naomi Leah Moore. Eddie Moraguin. Joseph Andrew Natividades Estrada. Carlos Nava. Derek Dion Nelson. Janae Plummer. Jocelyn Brianna Quesada Garcia. Alexis Roboyar Guerrero. Emily Giselle Rodas Cardona. Jordan Jesus Rodriguez Gaspar. Giselle Rodriguez. Leonardo Rodríguez. Kevin Romero Moreno. Eric Rosalina Córdoba. Axel Salas. Jaden Jesus Sánchez Peña. Jam Alexander Sánchez Perdomo. Brendan Sauls. Jimena Cimental Rocha. Genesis Valeria Sosa Flores. Paulina Soto. Shamir Lazaria Spence. Christian Thompson. Aaliyah Lynn Trevino. María de los Ángeles Vega García. Julissa Vizcaya Solis. Melissa Lee Viewings. Kaylee Williams. Dante Williams. Xavier Williams. Lanaya Monique Wright.
Oh, congratulations, you did it. Please stand up. Move your tassel from right to left. You are now officially a graduate. Ladies and gentlemen, the Manor Excel Academy, class of 2026.
Everybody, that's a wrap. Class of 2026, let's go. Marcasia, that, boom, right there, that door. There you go. That's really it. You guys did it. It's over. Don't forget your free snow cone outside. Your last free snow cone from Manor ISD. Miss School, Miss Out.